there were other weighty controversial issues about the person of Bola Ahmed Tinibu that squarely disqualified him and made him ineligible to be fielded as a presidential candidate ab initio. That this government is built on illegality and cannot stand the actual test of law and will be extremely difficult to win the people's confidence. This is the reason the coup d'etat in Niger Republic and the junta will readily dismiss any statement from the Nigerian government and indeed ECOWAS as nothing and of no effect. Let's take back our country, wake up Nigerian youths, and reject the illegitimate INEC selected president. Bola Ahmed Tinibu must be disqualified.
Did you hear that? You heard that? Alright, disqualify Bola Ahmed Tinibu now. Disqualify him now. I thought nobody would speak about this. I thought there was no group that would rise to this. Well, let me give you the details in full. My name is Angelo. Welcome to Nation's Very Tower. If you're just watching me for the first time, this is that channel that keeps you updated on issues pertaining to the political system in Nigeria as it borders the masses and their welfare. Not just politics here, but outside Nigeria too. Now, that particular press conference you heard is by a group known as the People's Democratic Coalition, hosted in Rivers State. Now, they have called out the president and told him to vacate Aso Rock with immediate effect. They don't want to see or hear anything pertaining Bola Ahmed Tinibu in Aso Rock anymore. These people are really, I don't know if I would say they are God sent, but they are really saying what the people want to hear. Now, let me give you more details. They also called out the judiciary and said the judiciary should be very careful in the judgments they want to give. News has been going around, rumors have been peddled around about the involvement of some APC stalwarts in the final judgment of the judiciary. This group came out and called, in fact, they said Bola Tinubu should leave Aso Rock because the crimes he has committed against Nigerians is so much. Even before he came to office, they spoke of the crimes by the president in the past. They spoke of his threats to the judiciary because there is a rumor that he has been threatening the judiciary with other members of his party. They spoke of his illegitimacy, the illegitimacy to his emergence to power, and so on and so forth. Let me allow you watch this video. I think it's better off you watch the video in full so that you will see how angry this group are and how they had to tell them. In fact, they said he should start packing his things now and leave Aso Rock because they don't want to see or hear anything pertaining Bola Asiwaju Tinubu again in Nigeria. Let this be done with immediate effect. Watch this. I think when I come back, I'll give you more broad and efficient analysis. Stay tuned.
The events of the past month leading to the conduct of the 2023 general elections and the outcry of Nigerians following the outcome, which is widely believed not to reflect the will of the majority of the electorate, is not new to us gathered here this afternoon. This verdict has been expressed by local and international observers and crowned by the much detailed and indicting report of the EU election group, observer group, and INEC presided over the most shabbily organized election in the history of our country. Today, the battle for the redemption of our democracy has moved to the temple of justice. Can Nigeria judiciary stand up to the occasion and save our democracy? This is the reason we are gathered here today, to urge our judiciary not just to redeem their image, but to save our democracy and write their names in the gold plaque of history, to resist all forms of intimidation from every quarter and deliver justice to the people of Nigeria. The statement credited to the Nigerian ambassador to the Republic of Guinea, John James Usanga, that annulment of the 2023 presidential election on the basis of the less than 25% votes scored by Bola Ahmed Tinibu is a wake-up knock for vigilance and for us to state the facts as it is, before the truth is distorted. It is no longer a hidden fact that outside the manipulations and distortion of the February 25, 2023 election results that brought him to power, there were other weighty controversial issues about the person of Bola Ahmed Tinibu that squarely disqualified him and made him ineligible to be fielded as a presidential candidate ab initio. Amongst were the forfeiture of money to the US government some years ago, fielding a fake degree to the Nigerian electoral body, lie about dual nationality on the prescribed election form, which constitute forgery. Added to this was the non-achievement of 25% votes in the FCT as stated in the Nigerian electoral extant laws. It is therefore not surprising to every reasonable thinker and analyst that this government is built on illegality and cannot stand the actual test of law and will be extremely difficult to win the people's confidence. This is the reason the coup d'etat in Niger Republic and the junta will readily dismiss any statement from the Nigerian government and indeed ECOWAS as nothing and of no effect. Public remarks by social commentators across the globe had insisted that the illegality of the Nigerian president and ECOWAS leader has made it difficult to effectively intervene in the Nigerian crisis. This is an apt demonstration of the level of unacceptance this administration has subjected itself by her desperation for power. If the judiciary is muzzled down by corrupt forces that are very desperate for power, then Nigeria is doomed to eventual collapse. But if the judiciary is able to hold sway and live up to its billings at this most auspicious time, Nigeria certainly will be restored to our enviable position in the Community of Nations. Whichever, the fate of Nigeria now rests on the willingness of Nigerians to press harder for sanctity of our constitution and electoral laws and say no to injustice. Let's take back our country, wake up Nigerian youths, and reject the illegitimate INEC selected president. Bola Ahmed Tinibu must be disqualified.
Yeah, that is how it is to be, especially for people who illegitimately came into power. Well, you've had the group there, and there is nothing we can say aside this. The truth is, they have said what they have to say, and it is supposed to be obeyed with immediate effect and alacrity. That is how these things should be seen as. So, let us not fold our arms and watch things go wrong, okay? If the judiciary is going in the wrong way, we'll have to call them out. So kudos to this group for doing that, especially now that there are rumors everywhere that Babatunde Fashola is writing the final judgment of the judiciary and so on and so forth. Whether they are true or not, this group have come out to say their minds. That is the kind of spirit you should have for a new Nigeria. Now, there is a tweet. I'm going to expose another tweet. There is a tweet that has been brought to our notice about the outcry, the wailing tears, the painful hearts of the Nigerian soldiers in our armed forces, about the way they've been suffering, the controversies in the Nigerian army, the politics that has been played in the Nigerian army with all the loss of lives and lack of equipment, ammunition and so on, and all those bad and heinous events and pretentious activities that are surrounding the Nigerian army. This tweet was exposed by David Hundeyin, and the same David Hundeyin had to bring it out. He said a soldier sent him this particular message privately on his phone and asked him to expose it. So this particular tweet I'm going to read for you is so legitimate. Listen to what is happening to our Nigerian soldiers. This is very, very sad. I can tell you, if you have a son in the Nigerian army, if you have a daughter in the Nigerian army, a father or whoever, please pray for them, because they are going through the most rigorous and the most terrific times of their career. Now listen, the tweet read on your screens, as you can see. A military that is underpaid. We buy military kit ourselves from the peanut salary. We are one of the poorest paid soldiers in the world. We have been enduring the war against Boko Haram because it's in our father's land. We soldiers are tired, frustrated, and demoralized. Oh, I feel so sad reading this. He went further to say, we never voted for Tinibu. If he thinks he can force us to war, then we will smoke Nigeria. Believe me, Africa will shake about the planned invasion on Niger Republic. The soldier is speaking his mind bitterly. Let me read further. Listen. We don't need generals to set Nigeria on fire. We will do it ourselves. There is no way we will go to war. We either revolt or we leave the military in mass. Enough is enough. Does he think we can defeat a military the civilian population supports? He should use Ukraine as a case study. Why hasn't Russia defeated Ukraine for over 1 year now? Nigerian military may be powerful than Niger, but we are demoralized and have no ambition to die for a failed cause. Thank you. This is so sad, quite sad, I must say. But the truth remains that we cannot do anything more than this, and we must not send these children to war. The government should put more efforts to see that our armed forces are well equipped and well paid. These people are basically the most risk-taking the people having the most risk-taking jobs in the whole wild nation, and they should be compensated and paid duly and handsomely, so to justify the lives they are sacrificing for the protection of the people of Nigeria. Please, the presidency should take note of this. Finally, about the whooping number of 47 ministers produced by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinibu, an Arise News analyst, Mahmoud Jega, has cried out and said 47 is too much for ministerial nominees. What are we doing with 47 ministers? What are we doing with 47 ministers? The constitution says one from each state. That is 36. With the recent agitation of FCT to be considered as a 37th state, we are supposed to have now 37 ministers. Why then add 10 more? That is way too much, according to Mahmoud Jega. During Obasanjo's time, he used to have 36, and then he will pick one each from each geopolitical zone. But this Bola Ahmed Tinibu we have now, we don't know what he is trying to do by having 47 ministers. Obviously, he has many people to please. Let me allow you watch the video where Mahmoud Jega spoke bitterly in the studios about the large number of ministers with no importance that the president brought on board. Stay tuned.
The most important consideration was political. The president had a lot of balancing act to do, even though in the end, even 47 does not accommodate many people who are speculated in the media, because I mean, there are hundreds of people. Can't have all of them in as ministers, but still the number 47 is quite large, because the constitutional requirement is that at least there must be one per state. And recently there was agitation that the FCT should also have one, which will make 37. But 47 is 10 more than that, more than the precedent set, for example, by former President Obasanjo, who used to add one per geopolitical zone. But I'm sure it was all propelled by political considerations. The president had so many people to appease, and he brought this 47. But certainly it will make for for agitation and criticism from several quarters.
All right, I would ask our viewers, please like our videos. Don't forget to share them to everybody around you and even those far away from you. Don't also forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section, because we need your comments to improve, and then we need these comments to make us go viral. And then finally, watch till the end. It is very, very important. Then, if you are an already existing subscriber on this very, very, very important channel, thank you for your support over time. Always remember to tap the notification bell. Then if you are just coming in, watching me for the first time, please tap the subscribe button. It is very important, so that you will be among the community to be armed with first-hand and very, very strong and first-class information. Finally, this particular video has been brought to you, and I will tell you what, having 47 ministers is way too much. What portfolios will they hold? You are trying to come and have minister for state for this, minister for federal. No, it's not very, very feasible to have 47 ministers. Please, Nigeria has been having 37 and we've been functioning so well. So please, having more of these ministers will bring more of, let's say, incessant and useless spending, and then we would have people that are just filled up in ministries doing nothing and carrying political agitations in their hearts for reasons that we cannot explain. So the presidency should also look into this. Thank you so much for staying with us. From our table here, we're going to be drawing the curtain. See you next time. Bye.